We're live.
We'll get it on our page over here.
I see. All right. I see it. I see it. I see it. Frank, we're live.
See, this is the part where I usually got some Tony Justice blaring and jamming.
Yeah, but when we do that from the page, they don't like it. They got to go call and ask permission and all
Oh
kinds.
no, I've never had any trouble with his.
I don't know. I
got permission from him. You know, I got permission from Tony to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, we'd love to put his stuff on, but I always get in trouble, man. It always messes up everything.
That's crazy.
Hey guys, it's Shaggy and Frank with Shaggy's Consulting and Training. It's the page. You know, me and Frank. We've been Frank's with G3 Trucks and Freight, and I'm with Shaggy's Consulting and Training. You guys can share our video if you want to, like all over the place, and make sure you share it everywhere, like and a little more everywhere, because people need to hear what we got to say. And we wanted to come on today. I was telling Frank we don't get a lot of time to do this, and we have a lot of stuff coming up. Like we're going to be doing a morning show every week, for like Mondays at 10 Eastern. 9 Central. We're going to be doing the Frank and Shaggy morning show. We're going to try to do this every Monday like we used to, right, Frank?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Monday shows are going to be cool because we're going to set everything up for the week. You know, talk about all the stuff that's coming up for the week, any weird stuff we got happening.
All the stuff that happened last week, too.
Yeah, like yeah. Crazy. Talk about throwing a little bit of last week. And Shaggy's still going to go live, and I'm still going to do my little shows on Tuesday night. This week, we're going to talk about fuel. That's gonna be the topic this week,
which is big because fuel is topping everywhere. Like, how do I charge? What do I know? How do I put it in my? I have guys coming in right here, Frank, that have been in the dump truck business forever, that have had do union and all that. They're like, we've never even had to bring up the word fuel. How do we charge it? It's like, you guys don't charge fuel.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, when you do your thing in your webinar about, you know, the trucking thing, and you go down, you're showing people how to calculate, you know, their costs, what it costs them to run the truck, you know, per mile, per week, per month, that kind of thing. I know you've had to change those numbers like crazy.
Yeah, every freaking week, like literal clockwork, you know, because that's how it goes up. Because 1 week it's 22, 1 week it's 25.
Yeah.
What's up, Don? Makers in the house. We got a lot of people. Guys, if you're joining in, we do have a topic we're going to talk about this hour. We're going to talk about why you're not taking care of your own backyard. And if I was a customer, or if I was a carrier or broker that's working on a project, how would I find you? And if I was looking for you, how would I offer it to you? And then the biggest thing that Frank always says, why are you letting brokers come? If you're mad about brokers, you're mad about load boards, then why do you have trucks? And why do brokers not have trucks? And why are they servicing customers in your own backyard?
People think they can go out and buy a truck and a trailer and do all that, make this investment, and then just get up every morning and turn on DAT and sit there and play connect the dots. And they think they're in the trucking business. They're not. They're not. And this big Harry St. Bernard that's been rolling around, sucking up all that snow for the last 2 years, it's come home and it's standing in your living room, shaking off all that shit. And you either need to get with the time or you're going to get lost.
You know, it's funny too. You see all these truck prices coming out. You sell trucks, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like every time I turn around, like it wasn't like this the other day, man. They're listed up in these freight groups, like truck.
Yeah,
For like 2 months. What are you fucking gonna do when 4th of July is? What are you gonna do when all the produce seasons drop out, the spot market overnight? It's like you're hanging out with your family because you just finally got home for 4 months, being on the road. Well, at least the last 3, because you're trying to make your fight, you're chasing everything. And then next thing you know, you're going to McAllen, Laredo, or out in California, or down in Florida, or all these places where you were chasing just because it almost pays what it was. That's all you could get, right, Frank?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going to happen?
You're going to crash.
What's going to happen?
It's going to come back around. It's not going to add up. The numbers are not going to add up.
I mean, what are they gonna do between July 4th and November 7th?
I don't know. You know, the one word you and I've been using for years, relationships. And you know, there's other groups on social media and they go, yeah, you don't want to get no relationship because that's when they take advantage of. That's when they screw you. Is when you got that shit. You know, and those guys are just dumb as fuck. Oh, Kyle, what up, Kyle?
It's the same guys that call you about.
I see it. Frank, we're live.
Oh,
see, this is the part where it's fun. Oh.
I got it. I got all these screens going because one software don't show you the comments, and I like when people ask questions. Yeah, guys, before we get going, we're going to talk about lots of things for the next hour about freight, how you build a network, why customers can't find you, why you didn't go after customers and stuff like that. If you guys have any questions, I see a few people on. It's during the day. We just popped up randomly. I know it. And so if you guys have any questions, we will. But my question to you guys that are watching right now is, why haven't you called customers? Why do brokers with no trucks have loads on load boards that have no credit or do have credit? Why are they getting stuff that, well, maybe it's freight you don't want. Maybe it is freight you want. Why don't you have customers? Why do you not ask for customers? Hi, Lenora.
Lenora.
Why do you have customers, Frank?
Well, I don't know. And I think, you know, I've got a different approach. I've got the old school approach to getting customers. And you and I have been talking about it all week. You know, it's these people in your backyard. It's these people, your kids, you already know them. You just don't know it. You might go to church with them. You might go take your kids to karate school with their kids. You know, you already know these people. You just don't know it yet. And they're shipping enough freight out of there to keep you and 10 other people, you know, busy as hell. But you're so busy chasing freight on the load boards, you don't even go talk to these people. You know, and Shaggy and I were talking about the other day. And I had a lady come on in my group 2 weeks ago, Deb Dingo. She's a one truck operator. She's a lady. She's a one truck operator. And she kept picking up freight at this one place 11 miles from her house. 11 miles. And she was in there loading one day and she was aggravated and the broker was giving her the run around and jerking around. And she said, I wonder if these people would just load me. She went in there and talked to the guy. Shit, they're giving her more freight than she could ever handle. They love her. They love her.
It's funny too, because I always talk to these carriers that have everybody thinks maybe we work with new guys, right, Frank? Just new guys all the time.
And we do too. We try to help them. Yeah.
But we work with carriers with 10, 15, 20, 140, 120, 300 trucks. And, you know, even those guys, it's funny that me and Frank can sit here and look at all the carriers on FMCSA in the area that have 100 trucks or less. How many people do you think really have customers? Now, I'm not talking about where you're hauling dedicated lanes for brokers and shit like that. And then they leave you hanging. We're talking about
real customers. Very few.
You know, it's funny because you talk about your own backyard. It's the same thing we preach in our class. Right? We talk about on dispatching week and broker week because that's when we're product building. Why didn't you even go to the chain? Why didn't you look at your map, like the one that you're going to have behind your head here soon and the one I have behind my head?
Yeah.
And why didn't you do a 50 to 100 mile radius? Because that's where you're going to run, at least 100, right? Around.
Yeah.
And why didn't you look up every little city and go to those, at least go to the chambers of commerce and see what kind of manufacturers are there on the manufacturing and warehousing thing? And why didn't you just go out there? Why didn't you go out and take a road trip and just go straight out in different directions on those little highways your town has? And take a snapshot of all the facilities with truck and trailers parked in the parking lot.
Let me tell you, I'll tell you how I got in the broker business.
Go ahead. I love that.
It was by accident. We had trucks. We had a trucking company. My dad started it way back before the beginning of time. We had a trucking company, and some of our customers around here in Nashville, you know, growing. They need more trucks. And on any given week, this is before DAT. This is before even really the internet. Huh?
This is before dispatching services?
Yeah. Those guys all used to operate out of phone booths, and they're not even around anymore. But anyway, we would call each other. My buddies that had trucking companies around here, and we all rode motorcycles and played golf. We all knew each other. And I'd call somebody up and I go, dude, I got 3 loads left over this week. I can't cover. Can you help me out at all? Yeah, sure. And same with me. They'd call me, hey, Frank, we got a load Tuesday. We can't get covers. Any way you can help me with that? Yeah, sure. And we started helping each other, just because we knew each other. And when we got to a point, I got to a point with my company where I was at my sweet spot. I did not want to buy any more trucks or trailers. I was as big as I wanted to be. And I will tell you, at that time, we had 55 trucks and about 100 trailers. And I didn't want to buy anymore. I didn't have anywhere to put them. My yard was only so big. So we started, one day, and me being me about, wild about liability. Finally, one day, I went and got my brokerage authority, which back then was nothing. They just put a B on the end of your MC number. You didn't have to have a bond. You didn't have to have all that bullshit. And I knew that I was actually in the brokerage business when one day I hired a guy and put him in a little room with a computer and a phone. And I said, hey, whatever those guys in there with the trucks don't cover, you cover it. And that's how I got in the brokerage business. Well, guess what? Funny thing. I've still got 2 of my customers for back then. That's the difference between building a relationship with local people that people that you have something in common with, people that you can have a conversation with, building a relationship with those people, or getting some friggin' call list from, Benny the Weasel's call list company, and you get Benny the Weasel, and he's going to sell you a call list that he already sold, 380 other people. So now there's 400 of you calling the same guy. You don't know him. He don't know you. You don't know what kind of freight he's moving. You don't know what kind of trailers he needs. You don't know what his shipping hours are. You don't know how to get to his property. You don't know anything. But you're calling this guy.
You couldn't even tell him what brokers he worked with or any truck companies he used.
Never.
You'd be like, tell me 10 problems I have right now. I don't know. I just figured you had dry van trailers in the parking lot and you look for trucks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But you get your call list from Benny the Weasel and you start calling people up, and these guys have already they've already hung up the phone on 8 people today, but you still want to get in that game. Why do you think that's the way to do it? Because you saw it on Facebook? Because some guy named Benny the Weasel told you it was a good idea? Benny the Weasel likes to make his $300 for his call list. That's what he's looking for. He don't give a shit if you make it or not.
It's no different than half these people on Facebook right now, where all these guys are out there, and it's not just Facebook or these worlds, these things. It's the load boards too, right?
You're a nice guy, and I'm not. And I'll tell you something. I see 3 people on Facebook right now that at some point attended Shaggy's classes, and now they think they are Shaggy. Yeah, come over here to Bob the Weasel's freight dispatching course, and for $983, I'll teach you how to be a dispatch service. You can be in business tomorrow wearing your underwear, sitting at the table, munching on fucking Doritos and make $1 million a day. I guarantee it. And these fuckers couldn't find their ass with both hands. But they took Shaggy's course, so now all of a sudden, they're going to teach people how to get in the trucking business. It's social. And here we are. Here we are, Shaggy and I, at whatever time it is, 3:00 in the afternoon on a Thursday afternoon, and we're on social media telling you that people on social media telling you how to run trucking companies suck.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
But it's weird because every 5 minutes, some guy calls me or messages me because he has 5 company trucks and his cost of operations are $9,800 fucking dollars, and he's been doing Amazon. Or another guy calls me because he's doing power only out of California and his dispatching service who can't find no freight no more because there's only 67 loads in Denver, and he's got 5 trucks there.
Our buddy Lily's Bish, you remember him that lives down in Pensacola. Yep. And John's not trucking anymore because he's had a hip and a knee replaced so far. Right. He's not driving. But John figured out a deal with Amazon, and he was on their leftover list. Okay. But they kept him busy as hell, and he's making $4 or $5 a mile pulling Amazon. He got on one of these other Facebook groups and he's talking about, and the guy that runs the group, and I'm not gonna call any names. I mean, he's a little short, bald-headed fucker that bobbles when he walks. Anyway, that guy said, "Yeah, that's all bullshit. You're full of shit." So John got all his settlements together and sent them. He put them on. He put them on the internet. He goes, "Here's the settlements. Argue with that." Yeah, well, I believe you doctored these up. Now that's a dumb son of a bitch right there. You can't tell anything to it. Okay, but everybody knows he's stupid as fuck. He's a one truck wonder.
But take their advice from one truck wonders. I mean, that's what you get from. I mean, if you want a one truck wonders advice, or one truck wonder, or a one truck carrier, then get advice from a one truck carrier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you guys going to grow your business and add owner operators, diversify, build local dedicated regional freight that's not using the 15-day average on DAT load board and sucking their balls in the closet afterwards all the time. Wait, oh my bad, I didn't say that loud. Sorry. But don't do that. You should never do that because it's leftovers, right? It's the load boards. Like how many times every 2 to 4 years do you have to run in this shit? Ask any driver who's been driving for the last 10 years that's had to use load boards, even if it's dedicated. I mean, how many of you people out there right now are actually calling 3 to 10 customers in a 100-mile radius or 200-mile radius, at least trying to get their business, or even adding 30 or 40 brokers, even in this market right now, a day that have freight going from a specific location?
Well, these load boards, Shaggy, you know this and I know this. These load boards were never designed. The idea these people were building these load boards, the idea was not to have a place where people could go and run their trucking company. That's not what they were for. Back then, just like me, when I started in the broker business, I was in the truck business. There are guys that have local accounts that send them out all over the place. And a couple of our accounts would send us anywhere. I mean, one week they'll send you to New York. Next week they send you to Texas. You don't know. And so you don't have customers in those places. You don't have relationships there. So you got to find freight to get back. And we used to call that, now it's a bad word now. You're not allowed to say it now. But we used to call them backhauls. That's why they call them backhauls, because they got you back home to Nashville, Tennessee, where your customer base was, and you need that empty trailer back and you need that truck back because your customer's sitting there screaming, "Frank, I just had 2 more loads pop up Thursday. I need some help."
Run the truck.
All these things keep turning on. Go ahead.
I don't know. I can't. But that's where this terminology came from. So, and you hear these guys out there, there's no such thing as a backhaul. You know what I know when I hear that? Instantly, this is a guy that doesn't have any customers.
That's the ones that are
such thing as a backhaul.
Well, like we have 18 people listening. Why are people having trouble getting customers though? Or why don't we ask? When you're on the load board and you see the lanes that people are having trouble with and they can't. I got some too. Look, the bull snots everywhere, man. Look, look what else I got today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, blastable, man.
That's
oh yeah. I got this one. I can't wait to use this on the Mustang, the tires.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff. I put some on my Toyota yesterday.
Oh yeah, Scooby-Doo car is gonna be lit up, man. It's crazy.
Kyle Williamson, what is bull snot? It's the same thing as frog spit, only bigger.
Yeah. This is the Shinings. Tire, butter, and conditioner.
That's shit. I put some of that on my Toyota pickup truck the other day. Went 4 miles an hour faster and made my fuel mileage better.
Dang.
Yeah, right off the bat.
They say you use this glass stuff over here, man. You'll never have to worry about bugs. That shit will slide right off the roof, man. Hit the car behind you.
Hey, I figured Van told me this. Van, Brown Ox, the owner. Yeah. You spray that stuff on there, and here's the catch. You spray it on there, and you leave it there for 15, 20 seconds. Don't touch it. Let it do its job. Let it do the work. And then all you got to do is wipe it off. That's it.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
We're gonna be using this like crazy. Like we actually got this stuff for the race car that's gonna be racing in Sprint Week.
He already put some. He put some of the tire butter on his tires, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
And it kept all that mud off of it.
Yeah, it kept the mud off, and he can slide the curves better. I think he actually. Crazy. We're hoping he gets on the podium just because he's got the butter on the wheels.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
It is.
That's cool.
People said they need
And look
that
at my hat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go back to questions because we're on here tonight about your backyard. Why are you guys on load boards? Why are you using dispatching services? And why are carriers not taking care of their backyard? You know the load boards suck. I'm on there this morning. Every morning I get on that power right there with you guys, and I look and I tell Frank about it. I'm like, what are these guys doing? Because I talk to them 3 times a day, every day, and I say, what are these guys doing? There's no trucks posted with direction. So you can't find shit because you don't post because they're offering you crap you don't want. So you're sitting there only looking one direction. How many load boards are you using? And then how, I just don't understand. There's no freight. So what are you doing? But there's still we still hear from customers every day.
Customers, these people, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, these people need trucks. Okay, I don't care what you see on TV.
But it doesn't seem like that, Frank, because there's no freight on the boards.
I don't care what you see on TV. I don't care what your friends on social media are telling you. These shippers are looking for trucks, and they'd a hell of a lot rather deal with a guy with 1 truck or 2 trucks than they would deal with a broker. They hate dealing with the brokers.
They don't want to. Like, you talk to them, they're big. It's just about capacity, volume, understanding what to do with the freight and what to ask for. Why would you walk in, Frank, why would I come in? Like, how many times do you think I'm going to walk into Frank's place and Frank's the customer and be like, hey, my name is Shaggy. And, oh, wait, I forgot. Somebody was making fun of me the other day. I'll actually change my wife beater shirt, my tank top, and put on a real shirt. So that way it helps me move freight better. I know when I go and call the carriers that can't see me, to move the freight. I know, I get it. It's always about period. I need to put $100,000 suit on, throw my gold chains on, and wear a tie, and put big fucking alligator shoes on to walk in a place where there's shit on the ground or metal scraps. I mean, so but when you walk in, if all day long Frank hears, hi, my name is Shaggy. I'm with Shaggy's Logistics. I just sent you my paperwork that says I'm newer than fuck, and I'd like to move your freight I have no idea about. Or is that the same Frank when I walk in as a carrier randomly and I say, hi, my name is Shaggy with Shaggy's Trucking. Yeah. I got trucks, down the road, and I'd like to work for you. I know you got like 10 carriers already, but I got trucks too. Is that going to work all the time?
Well, not like that, no. But
okay. But okay.
Deb Bingo got out of her truck and walked in the shipper. And look, I keep talking about Deb. You and I know we can tell that story over and over and over and over.
But the same thing. But she knew when you talked to Deb, though, she knew the customer and she knew they hauled what she wanted, though. She didn't go in there randomly.
No,
there's a difference. That's what I'm trying to tell you, the difference
from her house, and now they're keeping her so damn busy she doesn't have time to stop.
So 1, it's in her backyard. 2, she didn't randomly know the customers. She looked them up. She knew they had the lanes she wanted. She just don't go everywhere for them.
Yeah, no, she doesn't. They try to get her to. And you know what's the other thing? When they call and give her a load, they don't even talk about the rate or the fuel surcharge. They just give her the load. And then when she delivers the load, she puts a rate, she puts her fuel surcharge on there. She sends them a bill. They just pay the bill. They don't even talk about the rate because, guys, you got to know, if they can get a truck with a driver and a trailer in it to haul their freight, and some brokers sitting there going, yeah, I can move that for you, but these damn truck drivers are fucking me. And they want $8 a mile, and they're fucking me. But if you need the truck, I'll get it for you. And then they charge the customer $7 a mile. Pay the truck $2.50 a mile and pocket the fuel surcharge.
Because no one has a plan and they're uneducated. And they're all on the load board going.
All of these shippers, guys, all of these shippers, all of them, big, small, in between. I like the small to medium sized guys. My favorite shippers have good credit.
Pay their bills.
Pay their bills.
Well, but I'm a carrier. Can I really bill a shipper direct? Because I don't have to use a factoring company.
No. They don't like factoring companies. Some of them won't let you bill them.
Really?
Some of them won't pay them. Yeah, they don't want that third party. They want to know when they pay their freight bill, it gets paid. I saw a lady on your page this morning, and she said, a broker won't pay me. What do I do? And a couple people answered her, and they said, file on the bond, do this. And I said, well, okay, file on the bond. Also, you can bill the shipper direct. If the broker didn't pay the bill, the shipper still owes you that bill. Because I promise you, that shipper already paid that broker. They paid him a month ago. Okay. And that broker just didn't pay you. And when you call that shipper, say, hey, I haul load number so-and-so out of your place this day and this day, and the broker never paid me, I'm sending you a bill. That broker's going to get a phone call right now. And they're either going to pay that bill right now to the carrier, or they're not going to haul freight for that shipper anymore, because the shipper owes you the money and they'll have to pay it twice.
So we got a question, Shaggy. I live in the Northeast, specialty Long Island. I've been freight chasing for the past year now and basically broke even, looking to run less miles and be local and regional. My area is pretty small and I don't know if I can get these customers to pay the rate I need. Did she just say Long Island?
Yeah.
She just said the boroughs, right? Basically. And she said toll bridges and all that expensive people where people run you over and flip you off all the time. That's the area where you could borrow. We could be sitting side by side in two different houses on the shitter, and you could give me a roll of toll paper if I ran out.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so that's
the
area
said,
where people charge. Yeah,
she said her last sentence is, "My area is very small. I don't know if I can get these customers to pay the rate I need to run there." Gene, I would tell you. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you've tried and they say no? Does that mean you just plain don't know because you haven't asked them? Because guess what? Somebody's hauling it and they're paying them.
Yeah, no shit. Right. And it's like, what is your rate? I mean, like, what totally is your rate? What is your number to run that area? Is it $5 a mile? Is it 455.22? What is it? And is your rate for today and tomorrow, since you've already fucking freight chasing anyways? Or is the rate what you're going to do to double tape to pay your truck, trailer, fuel, fixed cost, escrow, write yourself a paycheck plus your insurance and your factoring fee for the next 50 weeks so you can do it all the time? That's a good question, right, Frank?
Yeah, very good.
Here's another one for you. Hey, Gene, so obviously you've been running the load boards, right? So if Frank and I were customers or brokers, right, and we had Long Island freight going to JFK back to Long Island, or from all the boroughs going back to Long Island, that we needed a local carrier that wanted to be home at 9 on weekends, but the customer we're talking to didn't need the trucks until 30 days from now. But 30 days from now, they needed one every day. How would I find you, and how would I offer you that gig, how would I find you, or how would I offer it to you?
Yeah, do they know who you are? Have you talked to them? Have you been there?
I'm talking about carrier 401, right? So like if I went to a load board right now and I looked for you on a load board in the search truck section, like brokers do, or even customers, right, Frank?
Yeah.
Well, even just because you have one truck, and I know you only think 2 or 3 days out. That's the first problem. That's as far as your brain can go. I get it, right? Freight chasing and running today and tomorrow, because you can't go no farther than that, because one of those dickhead brokers on DAT is already double booking you anyways. And the one that gets the calls to get empty first is going to get the load. The other one got canceled on by the customer, right?
Or the one with the cheaper rate.
Oh, yeah, that one too. Yeah, thanks, Frank, for throwing that out there. And that's why all you guys are so mad, because you were so loyal to those fuckers for the last 2 years. In the last 3 months, every one of you's like. So back to the question. If I was a real broker that is not on the load board no more, because they don't need to be, because carriers like Frank and Joe Denny and all those guys got smart and seeing stuff coming, so they don't need to be there anyways. They built relationships because they seen it coming. Don't tell me they didn't ride the wave a little too, right, Frank?
Oh, yeah.
They still know when it's going to drop, just like Hollywood Hutch and all those guys. They know we're going back to what I need to cover myself all the time and service the customers. So when those guys are looking for people like them, how do they find them? How do they find that you need that certain freight going from St. Louis to India or JFK to here, or vice versa? What platforms do you tell them, and how many people on a daily basis do you call? And when they call you, would you really know a rate, or would you be offering something like everybody else wants? Just a question.
So, Gene, have you been to see any of these people? Have you talked to them? You walk in on the dock, knock on the door, walk in on the dock, hand them a card, or gee whiz, hand them a poker chip with all your information on it? See this?
What things that? I got these cool things I made up here that have my car on them, and they
Yeah.
got a gift card holder on them, and it has my company name and all that. I'm gonna put like Subway cards in them and take them and drop them off.
I don't go anywhere without this. Ever.
Somebody clean my office.
I don't go anywhere without some of these in my pocket.
Oh yeah, right here. Look at these. Look at these things. Look, these are killer. Look, they got my car on the front.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna go door to door and it says have coffee or stuff on me, and then there's my business on the inside right there. These things are sweet, man. I buy them for like $15, bunches of them. Then you just go to Pilot and you get the cards, you know, and put them in there all at once. It's pretty sweet. You know, so I guess we're not very interesting today.
Well, you know, it's a weird day.
It is. We're new. So everybody that's on here, man, we hope if you have any questions, we'll give you guys like a few minutes if you guys have any questions, the ones that are listening, how to get customers. But we will be back consistently from now on at morning at 10 a.m. every Monday morning. And Frank will be on every Tuesday at 7 at G3 Trucks and Freight. And then we have our random times where we pop on and ask why you guys are crazy and why you guys keep fucking doing what we tell you.
This week, my Frank Talk on Tuesday night is going to be about fuel.
And mine's going to be about getting customers again.
Getting customers. Shaggy's been putting a lot of this stuff. We've been talking about this a lot about how to you know get customers and you know build your business you know based on what's around you, what's available to. Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't care if you live in Dweezil, North Dakota. Somebody around you is shipping and receiving freight. Somebody around you's got freight.
Gosh, man, you know, ever since I started doing the training, because I'm, you know, we always say it all the time. I'm the dispatching guy. I'm the trucking guy. I love the diversity. I'm an owner operator fanatic. I'm all about building products. I don't want to freight chase no more. I remember what it's like to have a second home at Laredo or California or fucking Denver or the Northeast or Florida or Atlanta. I remember all that stuff. It's not fun. It's not fun. And, you know, and so for me, like the biggest, it's like we talk about a lot of time. Every time I ever got a customer, I used to always give them away to somebody, or I'd run them with my carrier, or I always had the relationships with the brokers at the point. But every time I had a relationship with a broker, even some of my own friends, and so if they don't have trucks, it seems like as soon as something changes, you're fucked. They screw you. You know what I mean? Or they drop the rates on you because they're dictated by the customers. So, you know, I was always finding new brokers. I was always networking. I was always looking for the dedicateds between Indy and St. Louis, always doing more and more. I never let my trucks not be posted with direction. I always answer the calls on Saturday and Sunday. And then I see all these people, Frank, that are calling us every day, and they're not doing it, but they're running a trucking company.
Well, they think they're running a trucking company. They're not running a trucking company. I'm not sure what they're doing. They went out and spent a lot of money and they're running a dispatch service for their own self. That's what they're trying to do because that's all a dispatch service can do. We've got the best relationships with the finest brokers out there. Let me ask you guys one question. And Shaggy and I both know there are exceptions to every rule, okay? Team Husky is an exception to the rule, big time. Some of these other friends of ours are exceptions to the rule. But how many of you out there would sign over your power of attorney to somebody you don't know? That's running, let's say 20 or 30 other trucks that are not yours.
I mean, you don't know them at all from Adam and Eve. Like, they just called you up and said, hi, my name's Luzabel, and Luzabel's logistics, and I want to know what kind of equipment you have. All you got to do is sign this contract. We'll match loads up for you.
Yeah.
I'd like to do a show on 5 reasons why you shouldn't do that, what's going to happen when you do. But if I started telling you the 5 to 10 things that could happen really, really fast to you guys, you'd be like, boy, that guy, some other guy on Facebook media would be like, catch our video, be like, that guy's a scam. That guy's a thief. Man, that guy shouldn't be saying stuff like that.
Yeah, real quick to point that out about anybody and everybody else. But when when Catfish the peanut vendor calls you on the phone wanting to run your trucks, you just sign your power of attorney and send it because Catfish the peanut says, I'm gonna get you $10,000 a week with them trucks. You ain't got to work but Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and be home every weekend.
Fuck yeah, we got brokers, man. We got freight from brokers that you don't even know. Oh yeah, high tech freight. Yeah,
Look,
email list.
let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you something right now.
Oh, we got
We've been in business for weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
We know everybody.
We got box trucks lined out. We just need a couple good semis because we're tired of box trucks. We don't do nothing, make nothing.
Yeah,
we're available
we got hot shots,
24/7
we got
too.
midget trucks, we got carnival trucks, we got rock and roll trucks, we got everything. You want tankers, shit trucks, dump trucks,
24/7. I'm available.
4/7 dispatch.
Yeah, got it.
You know, this is my wife Irene. She's on the night shift. You know, and something else, guys. We love you guys.
We love you too. We do.
Love you.
We do.
We
We'll
will
take
love
great
you
care of you.
Around here, you'll be family. You won't be just another number here.
Well,
you'll be family here.
Well, and we'll do it for a low price. If you want the good service, it's only 1.5%. But you want the really good service, it's gonna be like 12.
12. And we're gonna hook you up with a factoring company that'll do this for you for 7%.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, never mind. We get for it at kickback, but that's okay. That's okay.
Don't worry about it. We'll help you up. Yeah, you should use our other service too. Yeah, we'll do invoicing for you too, so we can handle your money and help you with the quick pay, so we can put that in our own bank account. Yep. And we'll tell you what else we'll do. We'll make sure we put our information in all the broker packets, so when you leave and I can't move other carriers because theirs sucks, I can go back and use my connections I got off your authority to fucking book loads and not tell you about it because I'm so hard up and I don't care because I don't have no trucker investment in the business. I'm just a fucking dispatcher sitting in my underwear with no liability. Because if I had any balls at all, I'd open my own fucking authority. You know, then when I get done frauding you that way, because you're not going to notice the little bit of money that's leaving at a time, I might even go take your MC authority and do some bigger quick pays because I'm going to answer the phone again because I set up the packets. So I'm going to use somebody else's bill awaiting to front it while I white it out. Then I'm going to get the quick pay off you. And you're not going to do shit because you don't got the time to go to small claims court or anything like that.
I tell you what got me one time. I was bitching about dispatch services on the internet one day, and some woman came over. She said, I'll tell you what, you'd get off this internet and I'll call you on the phone and you see if you can tell me that I'm a real carrier or not.
Like literally.
Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me? Are you kidding me?
Like, dude,
you're gonna call people on the phone and represent yourself as a carrier? So and that's good. That's a good thing. I'm supposed to think you're great because of that.
Well, let's keep going. So how can you have a business plan starting a new authority today where you're counting on factoring companies that are selling you on the initial phone call to a dispatching service to help you do your business plan? Right off the bat, that's number one. It's fucked up. Yeah. Number two, whenever you go on Facebook, any group out there but me and Frank's, right? Seriously, right? You see people that are dispatching services openly saying that they freaking are looking for shippers for carriers. And everybody's like, well, there's nothing wrong with one carrier you selling for them. Yeah, there is, because you should be a broker if you're a dispatcher and you're working with carriers and you want to take the time. Number one, not just for the money, but two, for the liability, because you're going to be in trouble anyways. So
dispatch services have no skin in the game.
No.
If something goes south, if you have a claim, guess what? They don't know you.
It's like just like the lady I love on eCare. I love Jared eCareCheck. Me and Frank love eCareCheck. We love eCare. But he's doing these interviews, all these people, and I'm not mad at nobody. But go watch the interview where the lady's doing sales calls, and she's like, ring, 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 and it says, yeah, you did the call, and I'm sorry that I'm making fun of, but this is the shit that somebody taught her, right? So she calls up Frank, says, hey, Frank, is this G3 Trucks? Frank says, yeah. Hey, I noticed you're in California. What kind of equipment are you running? Frank says, I do power only, run all over the place. You know what I mean? So then she goes, oh, immediately skips that part, right? It says, oh, you're power only. Well, great. I have a bunch of contacts I can help you out with. And so I'd like to send you my packet. Immediately send you her packet, right? And then she's going to match you up when Frank call you. The guy says, well, I already have load boards. I could do it myself. Then so our next selling point is, no. I have a network of brokers that I use that send me a bunch of freight out of California going all over the fucking place. Like, oh, yeah, I'm sure you do. That you get that we don't even see. And then you listen to this shit where they're arguing back and forth. Then she wants to give you a contract. You know it's going to have a binding agreement that if she books something into you, and then you don't pay her for it because the dude's got 10 people just like her that he's out there. If he's that dumb, first, he's an idiot, right? First off, for allowing that to happen, just so you know. But the idea, the way they're doing it, that's not how dispatching would work anyways. It's not. That's a boring fucking free-for-all where everybody's just chicken jerking each other. I don't know how you chicken.
Maria Blanco says business, after all, is nothing more than a bunch of human relationships. Okay.
You don't build any relationships with the dispatching service work for you. I'm telling you guys, the reason why I'm telling you is there's so many people that watch the videos and everybody gets mad at me when I talk about it because I'm hurting their business plan as a dispatching service. And I know they're always going to be here. And we know there's good ones. And we know there's people that are making money with dispatching service.
I don't agree. I don't think they're going to be around much longer.
I don't think they will be either. But I'm just generally saying we know people like more different people that do a good job at doing it. People are happy. I get it, right? But we're not talking about those people.
No.
We're talking about the people that own trucking companies that have more than one truck that want to grow, that need to be doing it themselves. The compliance, the safety, the customers, the warehousing, all these different things they're doing. You can't do that running a dispatching service, working with dispatching services that have no product. They're not selling nothing but freight chasing. You can't, Frank.
I can tell you this, Maria. As far as business, after all, is nothing more than a bunch of human relationships. I can tell you this. If you walk into a place and you look like somebody's ex-brother-in-law that used to beat the shit out of his sister, you ain't going to get the business that day.
Or the way you talk. Not understanding the language of whether a guy's serious and he doesn't have a lot of time.
They ship, when they ship it, where they ship it, anything. But guys, I want to say this before we go. These people are looking for trucks, okay? They're looking for trucks. And if you're a broker and you want that account, you better be able to tell them that you will give them trucks. Shaggy and I are working on something right now that's going to blow shit up. It's going to blow shit up. And we're going to grow it. We're going to grow it. And it's going to be brutal. And it's going to be ugly. And we're going to go after the hottest shit in town.
Everything.
Yeah. So if you're a broker, you better be able to get them trucks and without a bunch of bullshit. Okay. If you're a carrier, home run. You start out on third base with these people. They already love you. They can talk to you and you're the boss. You got equipment. That's what they're looking for. You'll go and do what they need done. You're on third base just when you walk in the door. Right. Don't be afraid to do that, guys. Don't be afraid. I know a lot of people don't like it. I know. I get it. A lot of people don't like to do sales. They're not comfortable with it.
Well, let's do it again. Let's do it again. So everybody that has a trucking company with 1 to 20 trucks that is hauling for brokers, listen, right, Frank?
Yeah.
Go to where you live and look in a 50-mile radius in a circle. Find every shipper that has trailers like yours. Before you walk into the shipper randomly, just like me and Frank are getting ready to do in here in the near future coming up. It's going to be fun too. I'm going to do it in my Scooby car. But I want you guys to think about it, right? If you just call somebody, right, or walk in the door, either way Frank does it, whether you're in a nice shirt, you're in a tank top, you got the farmer's hat on because you're going into a farming spraying service out in the middle of nowhere, whatever the hell it is. Remember, when you walk up to that guy or you get that lady on the phone, there's no such thing as a gatekeeper. Everybody is a human being.
Walk in the door.
You walk in the door, you answer the phone. If you do it, you need 5 reasons why you're going to them. 1, what do they manufacture? What type of equipment do they use to ship it and secure it? Think about, do they work with brokers or carriers or both before you ever go in? And then if I put you on the spot because you're talking so good or I actually like you, like Frank says, what are 5 problems that I'm not getting taken care of, either by brokers that can't cover it?
They've all got one, every single one of them.
And then the next thing it does, whenever Frank and I used to do all the time, every Wednesday, we used to do this joke, and Frank would say, for Nashville to Baltimore, it's going to happen. It's never going to be the ones you want.
No.
It's going to be there. And we take that back. Just like when Frank says, everybody says sometimes when you call in and you're like, hi, my name's Frank. I got a truck. Or Shaggy, I got 10 trucks. I'm down the road 11 miles away. Sometimes you don't think that works, but it does. But a lot of times, you're not the only one that said that. You're not the only broker that's called that guy. There's too many, especially with all the overseas stuff and the DAT free for all. So then when that guy tests you, right, Your carrier may not want a freight chase. So what carriers are going to help you? Because he's going to ask you about Nashville to Baltimore.
And guys,
he might ask from Baltimore back to Nashville.
Guys, don't overthink this stuff we're telling you.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't sit out there in the parking lot and go, shit, I've only got 3 trucks. They're not going to talk to me. You don't know that. You don't know that until you walk in the door and ask the question. You don't know that.
Here's the next half. They're going to ask you how much you're going to do it for, right?
Yeah.
So then you're going to look around and go, hey, Frank, how much you going to do it for? Hey, Shaggy, how much you going to do? What's the 15-day average on DAT? And then all these people in the group, and they're all going to give you different numbers. And then you're going to come back to me and Frank, and we're going to go, okay, what was your fuel for one of your 3 trucks for the last 3 weeks? Okay. Now, what's your truck payment? What's your trailer payment weekly? What's your insurance? What's your fixed cost in escrow?
Yeah, once again, don't overthink it.
Yeah,
ask them.
It's not that hard, right?
If they say, what's your rate from Nashville to Baltimore? Ask them. I mean, you're there. You're standing there. Ask them, say, what are you paying in that lane? I want your business. I'm here to get it. And if they say, well, I like to do it for $2, you go, well, you're a fucking moron then, ain't you? That's why nobody's hauling it. But I tell you what, for $4.50, me and you can talk, and I'll just haul the shit out of it.
Or what? Here's the thing, or not even $4.50. What is your rate for the next 50 weeks with the fluctuating fuel?
Yeah,
it goes up. Keep an eye. You don't. We all talk. Frank's going to talk, so I'm not going to ruin it, right? But what is it? Like, because you could only do what you do. Why are you worried about others? And if you don't do it for 50 weeks, and it's like you got to get your paycheck. Why are you guys writing your paycheck? Why are so many people telling me, Frank, they haven't made any money on their business plan yet?
Because they haven't. They haven't. But you know what? People lie. And we see people that we've been talking to for 5 years. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, on some other page, they'll post on there, I'm getting ready to park my truck because I ain't making no money. Are you fucking kidding me? Why you been wasting my time? Get off my shit.
I see 30 people parking their trucks today, and
every day
they're parking their trucks and the load boards in the same sentence.
Yeah, brother Mike down at Carroll Fulmer, they've got owner operators parking trucks and getting in company trucks. Why?
Why is Walmart not having recruiting problems no more? Because they pay $120,000 a year, and
yeah.
Why is there so many drivers popping up everywhere now? You see them all jumping ship.
Oh yeah, they're all over.
I see more drivers everywhere right now. Like literally every day, I see something. I don't know how many
people start companies and they chase freight on that, and they think that's what you're supposed to do to be in the business. And their trucks are sitting. And the ones that are running, I'm gonna tell you something. At $6 a fucking gallon for fuel, $6 a gallon, the ones that are running are not making enough money to pay a driver a paycheck.
You can't. You can't. Lady called me today.
So if you're not getting your fuel surcharge, like we preach all day, every day, if they don't pay, if the customer or the broker doesn't pay you your fuel surcharge, hang up the phone. Because if you take that load, you're just going to go broke quicker.
Because you think about it, like if you're leased on somewhere as an owner operator, like Trucker G, right? Like Trucker G, he's an owner operator, right? So if you're leased on somewhere, the owner operator, you didn't pay attention. Look at poor Trucker G. He's got to make a truck payment. He's got to rent or lease a trailer. He's got to pay a percentage. He's got insurance. Then he's got everything that's not warranted on that truck. He's got to pay for plates when he's leased on, right? And then he's got to make his paycheck plus fuel every week. His cost of operations total could be damn near $8,500 to $9,500 a week. Is that 1 week or is that 50 weeks? What happens when he loses a load that week? How's he make it up?
Yeah, Maria says they're lacking in effort. I agree. And knowledge. They don't know how to do it. It's like sitting, but guys, if you go see a customer, if you go do your sales, if you don't like doing sales, call me or Shaggy. We'll do it for you. We'll call them up for you. We'll do it.
Oh yeah. Hey, don't be telling secrets of what's coming, Frank.
No, I'm not.
Golly. You can't have a last curtain and start opening the corner of it. Yeah, you know what I mean?
We're not going.
Because that would be really crazy for guys in a Scooby-Doo car to bring clients in and go out and sell customers on their behalf and stuff.
I will tell you this: in my group and in Shaggy's group, we're going to invite some members to be part of this with us. We're not going to invite everybody.
No. invitation only.
We can't. We just can't.
But it's going to be interesting. See, the problem is like, the whole thing with me, I've always been caught up with so many different things and writing other people's shirt tails. Now it's time for Shaggy to go out and sell real live customers, you know what I mean, and have fun. It's like the next curtain, you can't say you're a sales guy and not have fun. But the problem is what do we do with it, right, Frank?
Yeah.
Who are we going to help do it? Because, to be able to teach carriers like Husky and like Yumi Zerky and like Russ and Frederick, Russ and Ashley, and there's so many more, right, that we have in our network from like with William Triplett and these guys that are going to be people like that will be working with us hand in hand. When people like that learn how to get customers and learn how to utilize their assets, it's power. What do you think the big carriers do? But, the problem with some people, Frank, that's different than others is people forget about how they got there. They forget about the service, the guys, because they get so big.
They get big.
So that's where opportunity.
You jump into that fire, and all of a sudden you got to wear 5 hats instead of 1 or 2, and you get busy.
It's hard.
You get busy, and you get locked into a certain way of doing things. You get this pattern, okay, this rut that you get into of doing same thing, because you're used to it and it's easy. You can do it. And you don't break out. You don't get out and work on your business. You're always working in your business. That's not going to grow it.
There's a question for you, Frank. You love these questions over and over and over. Says, I made a post on Facebook yesterday. If these brokers charge customers fuel surcharge and keep it for themselves, most brokers said fuel surcharge applies in contract freight. Other brokers said they never give fuel surcharge.
Okay, that's a lie. That's a straight up fucking lie. Look it up. Google is your friend. The federal government sets up the standard for fuel surcharges marked in at anything over $1.20 a gallon. And here's the deal. The federal government measures it by the gallon. Okay. We truck drivers, us trucking company owners, us brokers, we measure it by the mile. So here's what happens. If your truck gets 6 miles to the gallon, you're going to get to a point where the fuel surcharge actually covers all your fuel. At some point, at 6 miles to the gallon, you will get there. At 7 miles to the gallon, you get there faster. At 8 miles to the gallon, you get there even faster. At 5 miles to the gallon, it takes you a while. But that's why you hear some of these old timers sitting out there going, I don't give a fuck about fuel. Let it rip. I make money on my fuel. That's what they're saying. A broker that tells you they're not collecting a fuel surcharge or that it applies to contract rates is a fucking liar.
Well, this goes back to Gene that's freight chases. So if we name off the brokers she's using, they're about educated about as far as you could probably pee, because you're talking about C.H. Robinson, Allen, Suntech, Tico, Edge. She's on the East Coast, so there's probably some of the other Chop Tank and
and we've heard this before. Other brokers say they never give fuel surcharge. Hang up the phone, because there's a lot of brokers out there that do. I'm one. And
the other part of it too is if you actually weren't freight chasing, right? You did half this stuff I told you in this video about posting with directions, searching, and networking instead of just driving the one truck, slaving to it by yourself, and actually took time to network and stuff like that. You would be figuring up your average based off each the last 3 weeks and increasing it by a little bit every week when you book these loads, and you wouldn't be killing yourself, would you?
Yeah. Gene, you didn't believe that shit when they told you, did you? Because I've heard this. I hear this a lot. Yeah, Frank, you get on there every week, tell us to demand the fuel surcharge. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, these brokers just ain't paying it. Yes, they are. Yours might not be. The ones on DAT might not be.
But
yes, they are.
But why do you actually have to go to a broker and just say the word fuel surcharge anyway? Because it's such a pain in the ass. Why didn't you just figure it into your numbers and charge it to them?
Yeah, just say, hey, here's my rate from Nashville to Baltimore.
Or are we even discussing it?
$5,850.
Well, I guess that goes back to probably when you book loads too, Gene. You go, hey, I was calling about that load. Can you tell me when that picks up? Can you tell me when it delivers? Hey, what's the weight on that load? Oh, okay. What's the commodity? Okay. And then they say, then you're like, how much are you doing it for? Well, what do you got on it? Well, I got on at this match.
Yeah.
Fuel surcharge is this fucking high. And so how could you offer that? Well, I asked you what you wanted.
Sparky's buddy's got a great big brokerage, and he walked in there 2 weeks ago, and the owner said, "Come here, I want to show you something." And he had trained all his girls sitting out there dispatching freight. When somebody called on a load, they'd say, "Yeah, it's one pickup, one drop, weighs 28,000 pounds. First come, first serve on both ends. You can pick it up tomorrow starting at 7 o'clock. What do you charge me to haul this?" They asked the truck.
Yeah,
and what do you charge me?
Say, well, I don't know. What do you got on it?
And they would either say, "I don't know, what do you got in it?" Or they would say a rate that was $300 or $400 less than the broker had in it.
Don't want to get in trouble. Less. I don't want you to think I'm stupid. Nope, I don't want to offend you or nothing. You are the broker.
Yeah, we want to make you mad. So I can do it for $1.25. I mean, never mind that fuel's costing me $97.
But then right after the next phone call is you're like, "Hey, Frank and Shaggy, why aren't they paying fuel surcharge?" Well, they asked you your rate, motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, well, aren't they supposed to do that for me?
No, they don't.
Oh, they're not.
They don't.
No? They don't have to break it down for you, like itemize it?
I wouldn't be afraid to bet you that some of these big box brokers, that some of the people on their front lines that work the phone don't even know what it is or how it works.
Of course they don't. They don't
why it's there. They don't even have a clue. All they see is a number on a board that says you can go as high as 1,200 and as low as 900. Anything else, you got to call your manager.
Call Frank.
That's all they got. They don't have anything.
I love it. They're like, "Well, how come I can't get any network?" I don't know. Why don't you ask a little more questions?
Yeah, we never pay fuel surcharge. What is that? Is that like fuel surcharge is a joke? Or it's beneath them to pay for? Fuck people like that, Gene. That son of a bitch is a liar.
That's why the guy pulled up in a Corvette.
A straight up fucking liar. Look up DOE.gov. That's Department of Energy. When you get on that page in the search bar, type in fuel surcharge. It's all right there. It's all right there. They've even got it estimated and built up, and it changes every Tuesday. This week, it was a day late because we had Juneteenth on Monday or whatever. But every Tuesday, they update fuel surcharge based on what region of the country you're in. DOE, that's Department of Energy, DOE.gov. That's the federal government.
Don't you miss getting on here doing this shit? We were even nice this week.
I know we were cussing, buddy. Gene, we gave Gene a hard time because she asked him.
Said we had to be good when we're showing his product around because he's got the family side of it. He said we can be mean. Well, no, he said we can say whatever the fuck we want to. Never mind. Sorry.
We just can't cuss on his show.
Oh, that's right. When we're on there Wednesday, we can't. I know everybody's been asking us to come on, dude. I get messages like crazy. Now I got printed by your buddy Charles too. What the hell?
Here we go.
Now I'm watching videos of trucks rolling down the road and shit.
I love Charles. Charles is a good guy, but he's got some dumb motherfuckers on his show.
Yeah, we won't go there.
I will.
I know, but we won't go there.
I'll get in the car and go.
Is that guy still living on his property?
No, he kicked him out.
So many people are
He had one lunatic living in his house that got up one morning after being there 3 weeks. Charles takes care of his mother, and she has some bad health problems. And this lunatic got up one morning after being there about 2 or 3 weeks, came in and sat down at the table for morning coffee with Charles, told Charles he needed to kick his mother out. And she was a real pain in the ass, and she was tired of dealing with it. Didn't want to hear it anymore. Just kick her ass out.
So many, Willie says, so many people are bidding some of the shippers spot market.
Gene, hold on. Why do you assume I'm a woman? I'm a grown man. However, I see where I fucked up running my business. I thought trucking was just all load boards and brokers. I didn't have a plan to do government contracts, but still working on this.
Well, just kind of a lady's kind of name because you're afraid.
Jean. Yeah, that was what threw me. I apologize.
Yeah,
I hate that. I hate it. Gene, you get on the internet and half the time you mispronounce names, and I hate doing that. That's embarrassing, but I apologize for that.
We're apologize.
And I just hope that in our own little way, I hope we were able to help some. I do.
Dude, Gene, if you get time too, like while we're on here, we do boot camp webinars. We don't just come on here for the hell of it. I actually do training every week. So if you ever really want to learn how to get off the low boards, build that network, get that dedicated freight, and it doesn't matter if you're a hot shop, box truck, semi, the process is the same for all of them. It's just buying, everybody gets an MC number, right? They set up an LLC, they get an MC number. Some dude at a factoring company calls, some dude refers them. Nowadays, because I'm probably the one that did half the problem with the text blasting and stuff because I taught so many people. So blame that on me. But let's call it residuals. But people get in and they think the load board's going to do it. You get caught up, and then they don't. You don't get 100 brokers or even customers before you start, Gene. So then you're stuck the last minute, and then it's really rough the first week or two because everybody says they won't use you because you don't even know how to talk and get past those peons because all they do is read it off a system. They're like, sorry, man, what you do? And you actually called them and told them, hey, I'm a new carrier right out the back. And your freight chase, it's just like you keep going and going. So you really need that. We have 3 boot camp webinars, just like the one we have that's sold out next week. I actually have to add 5 more seats because we're already sold out. And I know I got 3 or 4 more people trying to sign up for the broker webinar and freight sales next week that Frank helped out with. And then on June 18th, we have trucking where we do a webinar about compliance because half of you guys, if you're in E1 truck authorities right now, if you're in a truck and you killed Mabel and her fucking head was laying on your hood, you wouldn't even know the first 5 things to do when the police are showing up, everything. You'll screw your own company up.
Also, I've been a prime contractor for the federal government for 26 years. So if I can help you with that, let me know. Willie Lambert says, so many people are bidding some shipper's spot market. It's all in rate, and the shit I see bidding kills me. Well, Willie, here's the thing. Most of the shippers that entertain that, that'll put their loads out to 30 brokers and shit like that, they're not worth fucking with anyway.
He's asset based too.
Yeah, they're not worth fucking with. All right, number 2, you don't need to be. I mean, Shaggy and I preach this shit every fucking day. You don't need to be the cheapest guy to get the freight.
I watched
the cheap guys, the really, really cheap guys, and some of them are some of these big carriers, and they're good at it, and that's what they do. Some of these really, really cheap guys never pick up loads, and then these shippers have to start going down the list. Okay, I'll tell you how Walmart does it. I'll tell you exactly how they do it. In their computer, what they see is your trucking company name and your rate. That's how they rate you. Your rate. That's that first call. And then after that comes your LOS is what they call it, level of service. Okay. That's how many you pick up on time and how many deliver you.
We were talking about that. Me and Frank talk about that every day. Go ahead, Frank. Sorry.
Now listen. And then the third thing is how many loads that you are tendered that you accept. In other words, if you bid $1 a mile on a lane and they throw 50 loads a day at you and you don't take any of them, within about a week or 10 days, those loads will go away. They won't tender them anymore. And it's all done by computers. It's not done by people. So that's how it works. So what I'm trying to tell you is, and Shaggy and I can spend the whole day talking about rates.
I was going to start going that direction, but we won't.
Yeah.
Another show.
Whole day. You don't have to be the cheap guy to get the business. In fact, you don't want to be. You want to be about third or fourth.
Yeah, the best thing I've always ever heard from any guy, an old school guy that ever did in trucking when I was first starting out, 2008, 10 and stuff, and I was still caught up in the low boards back then, is always be the 5th guy, the guy in the middle.
Yeah.
You're in the middle. Yeah. Never always be the first guy, or never be the last guy. Always be the guy that's still a little bit there. It helps a lot of times, but don't take everything and don't take what you don't need. Just be there.
Right now, shippers need trucks. So that first line, that's your rate. Yeah, it's going to get you some phone calls for a little while. But that second line, do you pick up and deliver on time? That can make you or break you. And then that third line, how many do you turn down that they offer you? That can put you off the page completely. So the level of service.
It's the same system, a lot of places, a lot of
It's one-on-one freight. And you be thinking, okay, because a lot of people do, you be thinking, well, these big companies and these big, these mega carriers and all, well, they're just fucking me. It's just what they do. They're not sitting there thinking, well, God, there's Willie Lambert over there. Let's fuck him. All they're thinking is on Monday, I need this many loads. On Tuesday, I need this many loads. On Wednesday. And that's how they bid their freight. And I'm going to tell you the truth, and it might hurt just a little bit. They don't give a fuck about little guys like me and you. They don't care. They don't give a shit.
why
If
they
you're a
treat you like that,
small,
right?
if you're a small carrier or a medium carrier or a mom and pop carrier, and I don't mean this in a bad way, so please don't take it that way. Our place in this industry is to find a niche, find a spot, and
What?
get in there
So you mean you
and
can't be
stay
the guy
there
that
and
does body
live there and make
checks?
$1 million. That's where
Oh,
we fit.
and
That's
so
where
that
we fit.
and
Willie,
then
Willie, you're never going to be Walmart's #1 man. I hate to be the guy break it to you right on a Thursday. You are never going to be Walmart's #1 man. Now watch. Shaggy, me and you'll turn on the internet in the morning. That'll be a big blast up here. Willie Lambert became Walmart's #1 man yesterday. Fuck.
he does some shit.
He does some shit. I know Willie. I talked to him yesterday.
We got it. I know about your training platform for a while. A lot of people sell bullshit online, just dispatching bullshit. However, no one I've seen talk about building a network, going direct customers, learning all the aspects. That's what I like about is your in-person training stuff. No. Nope. Frank, you want to tell them? The webinar is always first, right?
Yeah, the web. Shaggy's got this thing and he's developed it. It's taken him years, but he updates it and upgrades it all the time.
Especially
Anything we can come on, if we come on here for an hour, there's no way we can even scratch the surface of shit that he gets real deep in the broccoli, real deep, and we can't do that here. I mean, we just don't have time to.
Yeah,
do it.
because you look at in person, we sit across this desk over in this cool office I have here, and we work on specific things. And here soon, me and Frank have secrets that I'm going to tell you when you're in my in-person office that we're going to go out in public and do. It's going to be a lot more. We're going to take it to a new level. But that's the secrets. We're not opening the curtain yet. But for everybody else, when you come here, this is where we do the posting. This is where we make the broker calls and find the dedicated. Like, this is where we build the local, regional route. This is where we learn how to talk. This is where we learn how to research. This is where we learn how to build a product and work on things that you need to do and recruit owner operators. This is where you come when you're already set up. You're not a rookie and you're in trouble. You need to fix stuff. But still, besides that, when we do the broker webinars and Frank comes on a broker week and stuff, I used to travel, right? Deshaun Dave. I got his shirt over here. I remember him in Dallas, right? When he was just, I think he had 1 or 2 trucks, you know? And I could almost remember almost all my students. It's crazy. Even the ones that are teaching my shit and stab me in. Well, they changed their agenda. We don't call it stabbing it. Everybody changes their agenda, right, Frank?
Oh yeah.
So in the boot camps, we put them together and we're adding to them because of the project that we're going to be doing later on in August. We're getting it ready to go. And in August, everything changes as the prices go up. And because we're adding more stuff, we're going to be doing freight sales and this other stuff. But before I do the freight sales, we're going to make sure the place we have to take the freight and the carriers that we're going to be doing stuff with by invite only are able to help us do it when we have it. There's a platform that's going to be set up. So in the classes, though, they're different, you know, because it's about building product. We don't even want to spend time on like the fucking low board. Like we want to learn how to utilize it as a tool that no one's ever seen. Searching with direction, posting with direction, how to build a network that we're not doing during the day, how to get people to tell us where the lanes are and what we're going to do with them. And that's why that's dispatcher week. And then broker week is where we get into the part what we do with it. Everybody, me and Frank have these guys with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks all the time. And I know we've been on here a long time. It's been a long time. We're like almost on hour and a half. An hour. Sorry, I thought it was longer than that. So we're doing great. And so me and Frank all the time, it always pisses me off when a trucking company calls me 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15 trucks. And they're like, I want to be a broker. I'm like, hey, Frank, another guy called me wants to be a broker. They got customers yet? Nope. Have they done dedicated routes with brokers? Have they even tried to get a customer yet? Then what the fuck are they going to do with their brokerage? Like literally, what are you going to do? All it is.
My cousin Elmore told me he thought I would be a really good broker.
I get it. You know, and so
my cousin Bill's got 4 trucks. He told me I should be a broker. What do you do now? I work at AutoZone.
So the carriers, though, you guys should learn how to be brokers.
What's wrong with you?
So carriers that are those guys should learn why to be a broker, but you're not going to go out as a carrier and get a customer and become a full-blown broker. The reason why you're getting a brokerage is so you can service other carriers that have the same problems as you to service the customers to maintain it. So those big motherfuckers you're crying about all the time can't come in and take it from you. And you're doing something better, right, Frank?
Yeah. Deshaun Dave said, I need an invitation. What do you need an invitation to or for? For
He
what?
wants to come to the class.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if he's talking about our
and Gene, I don't teach webinars. Shaggy does that.
Yeah, he comes in and helps.
I teach on the broker week. I help him with that, and then we work together on a whole bunch of other stuff. But that's I don't as a rule I don't do that. I'm a truck. I have a trucking company and I'm a broker.
Yep, and you sell trucks.
And I buy and sell trucks. I build them. I refurbish them.
Nice truck. Jacinda just bought that beautiful red one.
Oh God, yeah, man, that's a nice.
I'm like in love with it. I've seen it every time I turn around. It's like somebody boosted an ad. It's fucking all over the place.
I know.
Shit, I've seen it like more times than freaking I see Trucker G's videos, and they do it a lot. They're all over the place because they're so popular. But Jacinda's all over the place, man. It's crazy. Her and that red truck. She made another video the other day. I've seen that one and the one you guys, the pictures. It's crazy with her and Ricky.
Yeah. She did another one this morning. She's like really, really, really happy. That's a nice truck she bought. Yeah. That's a nice
truck. I was there with her. How she met the owners. They told her all about it. She got some paperwork. Now she's driving it. Dreams. I'm like, holy cow, man. So that's what it's all about, though, right? That's what we do. Yeah. Not just with trucks, the trucking companies. We help them grow. We mentor. I'm available all the time. I've been doing calls all day long. I got people coming from 3 years back. Dude, these webinars that we do, Frank, it's not rookies in these webinars. These guys got 15 trucks, 5 trucks.
That's like Gene. That's like Gene sitting here talking about. Gene's in the trucking business.
Yeah, that's those people because they didn't know. And if you don't figure it out now, you're not going to make it the next year and a half. You won't. You're not going to make it. It's going to get worse. And
once again, I'll say this one more time. It's very, 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 very important. Don't second guess yourself. Don't overthink all this stuff, guys. If you're sitting, Deb Dingo was sitting in the parking lot and some broker was jerking her around. Some broker had her on the phone, was pulling her chain, jerking her around. And she said, you know what? Fuck this. I wonder if they'll let me just haul this shit. And she got out of the truck and she walked in the building and they said, oh, hell yeah, we'll load your truck.
So funny. Like you're on a load board and you're not set up with a broker and the broker calls you up. You're like, what'd you say? What? How you talking? This picks up where by my house? Where do you live? You got what? You don't have no trucks? What? I can't understand you. Speaking of, I know, just joking or whatever, right? You know what I mean?
That's a valid point. A lot of these guys aren't even in the United States.
I can't understand them, right? They're not. Yeah. And I can't understand them where they're in, and you can't understand it because there's so many of these virtual fucking assistants. It's like, so this is what I'm going to deal with, or the customers dealing with whenever you fuck up the load on me, and I got to call you back after I take the load. This is how the whole conversation is going to be. It's just, like all the time. I mean, if I'm doing it right now and I can't fucking understand, I'm still talking.
Who was that kid? Who was that kid a couple of weeks ago? A couple of years ago, you trained him, and he got him with some co-op over in Indianapolis.
Yeah, he's our farm boy. Remember the 21-year-old farm boy that did all the stupid stuff, almost lost his trucking company. Him and a trainee, he told the story where they pulled right up from the way station with fucked up licenses and stuff. And then he comes right back out, gets it all fixed, almost goes broke. And I just seen him the other day because he's married with a kid doing farming right now. He's in Toledo. And that's crazy story. And he's still in business. It's crazy. And he walked right into the auto parts place over there and landed him right out the back. He's got so
straight up. And they want him to buy more trucks, and he doesn't want to.
Nope, he's like 3 still, I think. Just he does the farm.
He's got his sweet spot.
I can't think of his name right now. It's like crazy.
He's a kid. This guy's a kid. He's probably 25.
24,
Yeah.
What's up, Morm? Everybody here. So, it's pretty cool. I love doing this shit. Me and Frank will be doing this every Monday at 10 a.m. It'll be called our morning show. We haven't really came up with a name with it yet, but it will be something cool, And so we're working on it. But we have Broker Week coming up next week. I just added a few more slots because we sold it out, and I have so many calls coming in. This is broker and freight sales. So at the end of the week next week, it's going to be a crazy week. And then we got the trucking on July 18th. And then we got dispatch you start August 1st, and then the rates go up in August because it's just the way it is. And then here in sometime in August, we'll be launching a new class that's separate than the boot camp webinar, and it'll be specifically freight sales.
And it
Straight
will
up
be,
freight sales.
and we'll be doing another thing, and it will be private.
Yep, and there'll be
It
a
won't, it
private
won't,
thing,
it will
and there'll
not
be
be
a
online.
private part to that freight sales thing where you'll have a doorway option to go. And I probably will be very picky on the people that enter the freight sales class. I won't sell it to everybody. It's kind of good. We're it's time for us not to train the competition to a point, but at the same time, still be educational, right?
Yep. And just deal with people that are serious people, not, and guys, Shaggy started, I've heard it a million times, this is going to be my side gig. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to add this to my businesses. No, you won't. If you're going to be a broker, if you're going to be in trucking, it's full-time on a good day.
Just like
Usually
Marie showed
it's
her,
time and a half.
just like Marie says, Romero Logistics. Look at her with their two boys, JJ and Sebastian. When she took our class and you worked with her, she came from ConAgra, and she's probably, how many talked to her? She'll be back in class Tuesday. And if you guys ever want to see a really great broker, I mean, she had her credit score at 114 days to pay in 4 months because she worked her ass off, called the people she needed to, and got the credit.
Busted ass.
She's done. So her biggest goal is just to be able, like, she's not even out there blowing hot air. Like, remember, Frank, she just wants to do 6 figures for once.
I trained a girl in government freight 2 years ago. She's sitting at home She's got 2 small kids too. She's sitting at home working from home. She's a pro. She's a pro. She's not sitting around in her underwear eating donuts. She's a pro.
Dude, we can sit here and talk about.
She's sitting at home, and she right now, she's running about $200,000 to $240,000 income just to her right now. I mean, she had a plan going in. Shaggy told me when we met her in Nashville, Shaggy said, "Watch that girl. She has a plan. Watch her." And I thought, what the hell,
There's a lot of different situations going on too, with that at the same time. That was crazy.
Yeah.
There's more than her though. That's just a start. We can sit here and name them all. We will be though. We'll be inviting them to our morning show for interviews coming up.
Yeah.
Up. We'll have interviews going on coming up of previous students, and we got Kyle doing interviews. We're gonna invite them to the show. I got guys. I have people that I'm gonna interview on the show with Frank that I trained before Frank called me a long time ago. No shit. While I had a trucking company. This all happened while I had a trucking company doing the dispatching and everything. Right, Frank?
Yep. I got to bounce. It's Thursday afternoon.
Me too.
It was fun.
We've been on an hour and 17 minutes. It's awesome. I hope everybody loved the information, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Pass
it around, guys. Share it around. Monday mornings at 10 o'clock. We're going to get on here every Monday morning at 10 o'clock. And I know a lot of people are working. I get it. It's a weird time to do that. But that's the time when Shaggy and I can get together.
That's the only time.
Do it together.
Yeah. So everybody needs to start marking their schedule. Mondays at 10. You want some good shit, 10 a.m. We're going to be working on stuff, fixing stuff. We're going back to the old school days where me and Frank used to do role playing.
Boys are back in town.
Yeah, we're going to be back in town. And we got
so much more. Any of you want to join my group, G3 Trucks and Freight? We build trucks, we sell trucks, and I do a show on Tuesday night. We talk about different stuff every week. This week, we're going to talk about fuel.
And don't forget your bull snot butter, man. Like, I'm talking about this. I'm going to be doing a video using this stuff on my Mustang. I ain't lying. Bull snot. We love this guy, man. He's helping my race guys. He's promoting the kids. Dude, this guy does everything. Like, if you guys haven't used this product, and we are not getting paid for this, right, Frank?
No, we don't.
I just asked him for some product, and Van sends it to me. Like, it's so cool what he does. You know what I mean? And
he's been on my show a couple of times talking to people about how to build a business that's sustainable, that one day you hand down to your kids, and then they hand down to their kids. 20 years from now, you're still in business, and it's still, he's got on my show a couple of times to talk about that. The guy's good, man. He's good.
It's funny too, because I was talking to him after your show tonight because he messaged me because he's like, I've been sending that post to him that's like almost at 3 million views and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like, man, I only get 500 sometimes. I was like, man, just kidding, like that, playing around. And it was funny because he said he wants to do that interview with us coming up. I don't know if it's Saturday or when maybe next Saturday, but we'll be on his thing doing his interview. But he's like, hey, when you guys are on there, I want to hear the story. Like, where do you come from? I'm like, what? You mean when I dropped out? How I met Melissa on the road? Then I got a truck, and this guy bought it for me, and then he helped me get started, and we built 25 trucks in like 15 months, and then we lost it all and fucked it all up and went through 88 drivers and started all over again. And then we just started helping people like that Steve guy Frank gets in fights with, Cadillac trucking out of Sandoval, and all that, the political guy and all that stuff, and that stuff. But he's still a carrier I built, that was around, you think about it. Then you think about when we did all that stuff for free back when you called me, when we had let people come from all over the place and stay in our apartment, remember?
Yeah.
And learn. We didn't charge a dime. He's like, you did all that? And all the people. And, it goes way back. People only think we go back a couple of years. Man, I was doing this stuff way back. Just different. You learn more and more all the time, Frank, how good you are at doing stuff. You learn things you've learned, and you add stuff to things that people
a lot of people over the years, my dad, certainly the biggest one, but
I like his mustache, though. That is a cool mustache.
My dad.
Picture of the boat?
Yeah. He, yes, my dad. My dad was.
All I imagine is all those guys back in old days that used to wear that drove the fucking Peterbilt's black ones coming out of the truck stop with their big thermos and the freaking thing,
I try to give back a little bit. The business has been very, very good to me. It has. I try to help. I try to give back. But that said, I like dealing with serious people. I don't want to mess around with somebody, and sit here and work, and then have them go on Facebook and go, yeah, yesterday I was over in Denver and then the broker was fucking with me. That's son of a bitch. What are you doing in Denver, you shit for brains?
Yeah.
Fuck are we talking about?
Well, you do a video and the next call, they're like, hey, we're going to be investors. We want to make a lot of money in this business. Then a few minutes later, they're calling, I think I'm going to buy 2 trucks, 2 trailers, and put drivers in them.
Good luck with that. Okay.
We're good. That's an hour and a half now. You keep dragging it out. We're only supposed to do an hour.
That's a lot on a Thursday.
I know
no scheduling, no planning, no announcements.
Yeah.
The choir didn't sing. I mean, nothing happened. We just got here and started talking.
I know we got to get going back to these people who will come and ask questions and actually give us a hard time and give us something hard to talk about.
They will. None of our regular guys even stopped by today.
I didn't see anybody but Willie and stuff like that.
Yeah, Willie, who has probably as of 9 o'clock in the morning, will be Walmart's top carrier and number 1 guy.
Well, I think he said something he would haul Walmart's garbage if his life depended on it. Is what is
Trucker G's under a Walmart load right now, paying him $5.48 a mile.
Where's he going to? Alaska?
He's going to because he has to go. Somewhere in Texas. East Texas. He's been hauling a lot. Reefer, he hauls a reefer. Yep, and they've been getting it in and out. And I talked to him yesterday on the phone for about an hour. He's banging on it.
Rolling.
Rolling.
All right, guys. Let's hit it. Well, all right. So, guys, always, like I always say, and if you haven't checked out our boot camp webinars, check out shaggysconsulting.com. Check out the videos. Check out Frank G Trucks and Freight Group. Check out his show every Tuesday
night, 7 o'clock Central.
Mm-hmm. And I stop by there, too. Also, check out our show on Mondays. 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. Eastern time. We'll be live every week from now on. I got the schedule booked out at the morning show. We'll be talking about different topics and interviews. A lot of stuff going on, but it'll be unsugar-coated straight to your fucking face. So you don't like it, you might need to turn it off or something like that. Make sure your kids aren't around. We're going to get a lot more technical like we used to. Always like me and Frank said it. Remember, this whole show is about if you have a 50-mile radius, do you have customers? What will you say? What is the product they manufacture? What kind of trailers? Where are they hauling? Do they work with brokers or carriers? And why are brokers in your own area moving freight without trucks, all different sizes, but you can't? And how would I find you to offer you loads for your product, or do you even have a product?
I'm going to bounce. Thank you, guys.
Bye. I'm done too. Anyways, peace out. We enjoyed talking to you. So I hope you guys learned a lot, and I hope you guys check out our webinars, and I hope you guys keep sharing these videos. Hope you guys take a little piece of what we did. And if you, we don't care. Like, you can take it out if you want to. You don't like what we're saying, then fuck off. You know what I mean? If you like what we're saying, you want more of it, keep coming back and asking more questions. Give us a hard time. All right? And we appreciate you guys a lot. Peace out. Hey, oh yeah, stay tuned. We got our race cars coming out. We got Braden Cromwell is going to be racing Sprint Week coming up. I'm going to wrap his car in red, white, and blue and put a Trade Martial Arts on it. We're going to have the American Kid flying all over fucking Indiana, representing the E-Carrier Check and Operify. We got 4 or 5 trucking companies that are going to go on the side of his car and sponsor. And we're getting it geared up. And I think he's racing up in Wisconsin and USAC. He just hit the polls. We also got my buddy Randy, if you'd ever get his transmission fixed, out there racing. And we're getting ready to partner up with a little kids team where a 5-year-old, a 5-year-old here in Terre that's moving up, and this 5-year-old has already won like in quarter midgets. He's won like 35 races already. He's 5 years old. So we're going to be partnering up with that guy and helping to wrap his cars and stuff. And we're doing a lot of cool stuff, giving back, you know what I mean? And so stay tuned, because I love Sprint Week and I'm ready to do it again. I got my hotels booked, and I'll be traveling with the Mystery Machine to all the races and seeing the trucking companies across Indiana that we train. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we have more posts coming. I'll have the flyer with the schedules and stuff in the car, and all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, what are you doing this for? If you guys are in business so much right now where you're so stressed out, you can't have fun with it, and you're so caught up because you can't even get a breath of fresh air, don't you think it's time for a change of what you're doing? I mean, just because everything's out there, the food's up, this is up, and that's up, and everything else is up, you should have had a plan and prepared for this. You should have been making sure you were paying yourself. You should have been taking care of yourself. And if you weren't, that's your fault. Before letting other people dictate your business and not building a plan and a network before this shit happened, you should have seen it coming. See, well, even if you're in any other field, whether real estate, nursing, whatever business, you know things go up and down. Why didn't you have a plan? Everybody's got to have a plan. And everybody should be working it, building it, and changing that plan and adding to it all the time. You should never get comfortable and just think you're relaxed and think this is going to last forever, because it's not. It always changes. Like, you could have one customer. Anyways, I'm going to shut up and wait for the next show. All right, guys. Anyways, I love talking to you guys. Have a great one. Hope to see you guys soon. Peace.